This is Andy with QualityStocks. Today's Friday, April 23rd, 2010, and we're taking a look at Options Media Group Holdings. It's a NASDAQ Bulletin Board stock trading under the ticker OPMG. Interesting doji that it dropped today. I caught a little bit of this early on. I didn't watch it all day, but I saw that it was green, and that it closed with a pullback back to open. A lot of different things going on down here with the indicators. You can see it took on a fair amount of selling these last couple of days, making this the money flow and accumulation distribution drop off. MFI money flow is getting pretty high. CCI up near 400 is pretty high. Full stow just with a slight downtrend over the last few days, still holding over 50 though. But some of the things you look for in long-term plays are this tricks with a beautiful trend towards zero. The ADX is set nice to move up into a trending pattern, and the PPO and MACD both with very strong trends towards zero, even dating back to here. See, that's a very nice positive divergence with the PPO. If you pull it back to here, the PPO or the MACD trending towards zero while the PPS is trending down. RSI kind of has a little bit of a, I call it like a bowed look to it, a bowed feel, where it almost feels like it's going to try and pull back a little bit. Also indicative of not holding the big gains that it had going on earlier today. Still closed up, over 11%, which is nothing to complain about, but it was up, I'd imagine, 30% or more. Things to note here. That's pretty good support at 3.5 cents. See, it held it dipped below it, got down just below 3 cents, and now it's actually making, it's not great, but it's making a new higher low. Almost has a very shallow sort of inverted head and shoulders to it, for lack of a better term. Point is that it dipped down to below 3 cents, came back up, moved back above this support level, or the resistance level, becomes support again in a nice move. Now all the moving averages are curled underneath it, including the 50-day. 200-day still, of course, is up here, but that's a huge move to get to the 200-day at this point. You can see it's also just outside of the Bollinger Band, so I would anticipate this is going to, even if it makes another move tomorrow, that it might want to try and pull back inside. I wouldn't be surprised if it made a decent move, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it came down. I know that sounds fickle, but it did have a lot of selling at the end of the day today, and I'm not sure what caused that. What I would look for is, closed at 0.049, it's rounded up to 0.5, but it did actually close at 0.49. That 5 is going to be a little bit of a tough level for it. Just in general terms, being a solid number, you can see it's hit it before. It hit it and held it here, kind of hit it and held it here, and had a little bit tough time with it again. I'm looking for this more as a long-term chart, not necessarily as what it does tomorrow. So I would want to see it hold this as a bare bones bottom. If it comes down near here, I'd say it's probably a pretty good buy point. If it dips slightly below, it's still a hold. But if it starts, look for that selling in the volume. You can see volume's picked back up, a fair amount. This has a short, relatively short trading history. You can see volume was very low, and then it made a move, and it's been slightly picking up here and there, but still over where it was, 5 months ago. So we're going to see that volume continue to stay strong, but hold this as a bottom support level. I do believe in a pretty decent buy point. I'd like to see it hold right through this area first and foremost, and actually try and make another higher low. It's a pretty quick one, but even if it wants to go sideways or what have you, I'd like to see it hold that level right around 0.44. And if it can't hold that, I'd look for this bottom support level to hold. On the fun side of things, if this can start to make a move, I'd be looking for it to take out right through there, the 0.68 area. You can see it almost reached it today. If this can actually make a move to the higher side, it's going to be sitting pretty good when it gets up near 0.7 where it's established. There's not going to be a whole lot of resistance in the way after that point. Like I say, I'm looking at this more as a big rounded bottom. You can see the rounded look it has to it, with combined with the longer term positive divergences to see this continual to make new higher lows and move forward. It's a pretty nice looking chart from that standpoint. Some things to say tomorrow it may pull back, or over the next few days it may pull back, but on the whole, it's a pretty nice looking chart. This is Andy with Quality Stocks taking a look at OPMG.